me. So this evening we have a special guest, Mr. Fuar Hand. Don't applaud yet, wait till I'm done. He says he's in fragile shape, and I believe that. He says he's been in the poetry scene for decades. I believe that. He says he's concerned about the truth, the way the world is, what it's becoming, what it has seemingly unintendedly evolved towards. I understand that. I understand he has a voice, a heart, a caring nature, a considerate, accurate view, a perspective of worth and note. His poetry ranges widely in terms of topic, subject, and even his approach.
Ladies and gentlemen, give Fuar Hand a wonderful round of applause. A man of note, merit, well known in the Bay Area. Come on, I don't hear it, I don't hear it, I don't hear it, this is about that. Yeah, there we go.
The Nakba. I doubt it was forgotten, never remembered, I heard. Okay, B, between a rock and a hard place, sugar. In the first motherfucking place, it don't got to be anything but what it is. Exactly that. It ain't here just to please me and you or whoever. It's just like real life. In fact, it is. You and me just find ourselves in it. Didn't vote it in. No options. Exactly what it is what we in on, and on the one hand, it's surely a miracle, and on the other, it's the only one we got. Especially when you and me get it. Maybe it's like you're in this play. You're Castro. Your people are suffering the Yankee embargo, mixing infrasystems and ecostructures into measurable quantities of malnutritions and simple infections, increasing in frequencies and simple infections, increasing in frequencies. Now so much more easily tabulated, coded, recast into appeals to the world for simple justice in all of the languages that count. Neither, you think. And I'm responsible for it all? Yo? Cuba Libre? Only you're Castro in this play. And you can choose what you want to be responsible for. Get it yet? It's what it is. On the one hand, you got to eat some shit to live. On the other, there's lots of it. Comprende? You dig? So what goes around comes around in the environment, and other terms of camouflage describing what's disappearing and disappeared into various viscosities who insist their ways into the food chains we've been subscribed to and choke others to pay for, construe this economic developments. Because it's one hell of a job keeping this shit bucket running on time with only the proper collusions protruding. It's a motherfucking mess. On the other hand, it's what it is. Some starve, some get overweight. I don't know if that's plot or fate. And ain't got time to clarify, because what it is hungry and leaves no bones. You know what I'm saying? On the one hand, it's a rat fuck. On the other, you could write a good novel about it if there were time. Tempus fugit. Whole peoples are taking off and putting on more different kinds of clothes and more different places is. And it's still not fashion to talk about them overexposures to lethal amounts of ripped off price tags stapled to roguish voguings we stash in back of the closets, a marauder of naked corpses frozen stiff in an alley of winter ski magazines say does not exist, about to put on a uniform, searching for some bloody whereabouts. Here, a high electric scissors, a tailor with a pension. But you and me is trying to get away from the clip joint. But we don't want to be naked in the eyes of the hawk. You know what I mean? What it is, baby, it's cold outside. And that's just what it is in the first motherfucking place. Something's up. And me and you is the only jigs around. All right.
All right, we got one. Is this by, yeah, is this by Al Young?
Yes.
Okay, great. I got it. All right.
Right on.
Thank you. All right.
From the works of Al Young, who needs our blessings
Yes.
and I hope everything. He's always been, not always, but then came a point I said, wow, this man should be Secretary of State. The cost of loss. The blues we lose makes room for more to bloom. Blues need a human being who can sing. To sing means you've got joy to and hurt to tell. If you can walk, then you can dance, and if you can't talk, you can grunt your message. You can whisper it in language we compose the way we blink at one another, like your father to your mother when they got together, maybe unaware that you would end up the result. Just hold your breath. The cost of loss is life. The price of death. We lose more than we even know to mourn. Each love a huge anthology, a life no Wikipedia can sum up, a feast. We gain more than we lose. We die reborn. The cost of loss. Al Young.
So the next two that I have, and then we have one more, at least one more.
Okay, this is not complete. So
Okay, all right,
I mean, I got it in the book there. I can do that.
all right.
This is one that's called Celebration Time. It was a very, very fine, nice romance that was short, didn't end very, very sweetly. But the really foxy, on-time woman who was a psychiatrist and who one year led the Carnival parade down Mission Street in pasties and G-string that she made. Yeah, anyhow. Very interesting woman who unfortunately died of cancer, which she fought for about 10 years, I understand. That was all. Anyhow, So this is, I'd say sometime in the 80s. It's called, I'm hoping my teeth are holding on all right. Celebration time. Through the streets of El Barrio, down Teeman Mission like New York at high noon. Snorting snows all the way up the Palm Boulevard of Dolores, sneaking through the alley round about midnight at 1 with the cats, catching the sounds at Bay Jones, flying high with the Bishop, Ed Kelly, and Babatunde, Batishanga, and Batukaje. We were the carnival on all the islands, on all the warm seas, sweeping through the cultural center, La Galleria, Ecuan, Alejandro, Roberto, JR, and Kush. Hanging with friends at the bar, we picked a way through the labyrinthine psychoses, plotting drunkenly with the warps of the people's ill-timed ways of life, hard and zesty. Across the continent and back, we dug Harlem and the North Shore in the middle of a storm, slid into and out of the bowels of Death Valley, the Sierras, and the Redwoods, tripped by jet stream to the reservations, wringing moisture out of the deserts and the lonely peoples there still. Ran a dry creek beds, secret springs, pinned the only unapproachable cactus, sporting a yellow flower under moon sliver and every star ever, while the lightning whips the horizon red and violent, bruising the night with the swift nimble tentacles of the universal cyclotron. We saw sadness we are powerless to change without many friends. We heard Bob Dylan singing How Our Rain's Gonna Fall when there was no stereo, no plugs for non-existent wires. We saw Bob Kaufman's Abominist Manifesto sitting in the chair on the tightrope at the top of the circus tent with no net underneath to catch a falling star, committing a flagrant act of faith, while the wolves circled the camp with a garland of holly and roses, and crept to shed a tear on the holy babe, copulating with intransitives, being only themselves in jolly mitosis symbiotic cradles. We danced to the endless strains of silent forest deep in a glade of psychedelic shimmers, and swam the lakes in otter trances, counting the tinkle of each cowbell on the bottom, fast fossils festooning our eyelids and trailing round breast genitals, shooting the rapids between our toes with new life and terrapin beaks to hold on to molecular jisms, squeals that rocked with crab and crayfish bonnets till the sun cried endgame through ethereal greens, and we rested in a loft of mirrors. All this we did in 1 year, love, and now begin again. Should have had dated 9/9/82. Should have had a few more years like that.
Okay. So, did you want to do this one from the book?
Oh, I can do it from the book.
Okay,
yeah.
you said you might do that, and then I got a few others here that people
Sure.
in. All right.
I've got it here. I know that. Yeah, I got it. Yeah. It's called the Rap from Living on Dreams, and it comes from a mini drama series that was done at the Galleria de la Raza very early in the 80s, and it was its theme was the plight of artists on the outs. Okay. in San Francisco, the great town of the
Artists.
but there's a lot of people who ain't in on that. Anyhow, the whole concept, there were 7 mini plays or mini dramas of many types, and the theme was called the Living on Dreams. So this is the rap from Living on Dreams. I got to tell you my story, gotta tell you my story. Got to play you my music, gotta sing you my songs. Hey, I got to tell you I stepped out here with nothing. That's what I'm holding on to, doing my damnedest to keep it too. I gave up on Ted Mack even long before I was born. Can't get next to Ed Sullivan. Got no time for Dick Clark, that's for sure. I played backyard parties, you know, barbecue blues, those parties, projects, dance halls down the block, music that matters for people that matters. I got to play you my music. Got to sing you my song. I ain't got no new dances to sweep up this nation with. No eyes filled with admiration from that sister with the big ones on the corner. Won't see my record shout to #1 on anybody's charts. All I do is play from the heart. Music, my music, sweet music. Music of the dreams we hide in basements, attics, little niches, in the trunk of the car. Hey, let me tell you, I do it without the producer's scheme. I live on dreams, worshiping sounds, not living on promise in the usual way. I live on dreams. I left the almighty buck way behind, beneath the rock all them dollars holler from. They call me Duck, 'cause I don't give a fuck, you know what. I'm living on dreams and worshiping sounds in a way that really counts for me. I'm living on dreams, worshiping sounds in a way that really counts. Living on dreams, worshiping sounds. Listen to the sounds. Listen. Listen. Oh, listen. Ba-da-dee-da-da, ba-da-dee-da-da-da, da-dee-dee-dee, sha-da-da, ba-da-dee-da-da, ba-da-dee-da-da-da, da-dee-dee, ba-da-da, bing-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding. But let me tell you one thing for sure. San Francisco is slow. San Francisco is so slow. San Francisco is so slow when you're in a hurry. Like when I'm in a hurry, waiting for a bus gets there so slow, like my time don't matter. America is so slow. Lines at the bank move like money always has the same value, no matter what time it is, no matter how fast I need to move. The country is slow. San Francisco always slower than molasses in winter, and just when you begin to make time and catch up, got to transfer to another, gets there slower than the first. I gotta keep moving. Bus has me standing here waiting while my mind goes at universal speed, outracing a whole nation, and I just missed the transfer.
So you write about a mix and these are the things that people sent us. So you thought you could maybe do one or two of them, something like that, but that'd be really short. Right.
Okay, I got, oh, this is interesting stuff that I got, which is of good friends. I'd like to, my name is Quentin Roosevelt Hand Jr. My daddy was Quentin Roosevelt Hand, and he was one of the first pharmacists, first black pharmacist to own a store of his own in Harlem. It was quite a while ago. I'm 82 years old. I grew up basically in Bed-Stuy and Central Harlem. Don't know. I was born on Bainbridge Street between Stuyvesant and Lewis, and went to PS 70 on Macon Street between Patchen and Brown. A real strange life that it turned. One of my best friends turned in life turns out to be a white man whom we met in a black resort. At that time it was black. Like Harlem used to be black. In Sag Harbor, Long Island. Now you couldn't. We had a little house there. It turned out not a house. It won $1 million for this little house. That's really crazy. Anyhow, that's where I met John Ross, who was a very, very good friend. He's a hell of a journalist, a poet, a historian. He wrote lots of different kinds of books, and he was quite a fine, fine spirit. And his son is the big music impresario Dante Ross, by the way. Yeah, he's a basketball fan too. Okay, good. And I don't know any order. For those of you who are basketball fans, me and John edited a basketball book. My room was such a mess I couldn't find it. It's called
We came to play.
They came to play. It's North Atlantic Press. It came out. Well, it came out when what's his name was still in high school. The brother who's making it big in China now. I'm just blocking his name. Goddamn. Well, anyhow, this is from that book called Playoff. He does a little quoting of, like, I don't know if he caught some of my lifts from back there, but he even slipped in a little Rilke here. But anyhow, okay. When music, the other side of air, played itself for the championship of the kingdom of sound, the stars did not miss a hoop. The power forwards slammed dunk like they found God at the bottom of a bucket. The point guards pulled strings with fingers taut as arrows and hit the rim shots like rainbows on the run. The center held. Who won? All won. All won.
Okay, so something really short.
Okay, another one here. This will be a short one. Yeah, sorry, I don't get the hook. This is another poem of John's. The revolution is not like a faucet. The revolution does not begin over coffee at the Epicurean, does not begin with gravy and grits in the first joint, the last hit, the morning prawn, your morning shit. The revolution does not begin pulling green chain on the graveyard shift or making the welfare line by 9. The revolution doesn't begin in your mind, your heart, your liver, your prick. doesn't begin when you clench your fist. The revolution doesn't begin in 1775, 1917. The Depression, the dawn, doesn't begin with gurus, sinecures, the news from LA, Havana, Manana. The revolution doesn't begin with both barrels at the bottom of bottles, on the pages of Bibles, with the blues. The revolution does not begin. The revolution has no beginning. The revolution is unending. The revolution is not like a faucet. You can't turn it on and off. The revolution leaks all the time. You can't call a plumber to fix it. From the works of John Ross.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for listening.